Junkies!
Let's go ahead and start talking about the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Oh, no, excuse me. Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Damn right.
The show has wrapped 6 episodes, but there isn't a universal love for it. There's very mixed feelings, I feel like, of the show overall. Even coming out of the strong finish from WandaVision, going into the show, it started really strong, but some people started to not like it. Infamously, IGN gave the final episode a 5. IGN also gave the episode prior to this one a 7. So what is everybody's feelings about it? Obviously, we're not necessarily basing our like or dislike based off of what else anybody else has got to say. GQ, what did you think of the show overall?
The show was good. It filled a lot of story in for both Bucky and Falcon's characters. Brought Zemo in grand fashion. Mm-hmm. Dido and I were actually talking about this earlier today. It was just like there were so many movie character crossovers in this thing, where it just is like, if this is a quote unquote TV series, it felt very much like another extension of the MCU film franchise, big time, because you had Rhodey showed up, you had Sharon Carter obviously showed up, Zemo showed up, mm-hmm. You know, Batroc the Leaper, or mm-hmm. George St. Pierre's character showed up. I mean, it's like you had a bunch of people that got their start character-wise in the Winter Soldier film, you know, obviously with the exception of Rhodey, and it's mm-hmm. just like, you know, and again, with that huge budget per episode, they're not playing around. They're like doing big things in each of these episodes, and I like the stories that they told, man. Some people said that it ended kind of weak. Mm-hmm. I think it ended with we have other stuff coming on silver screen, so mm-hmm. stay tuned. I think that's how it ended, and I like the fact that they're not tied into, like we said before, you know, you have to shoot for that syndication. It's like, no, they shooting for the movie that you're about to see, mm-hmm. Captain America 4 or whatever, is going to be continuing this story. So I like that. I like that.
Exactly. Out in the chat, Hannah Omega says, Flag Smasher's plot was pretty weak. Heard it was because the original plot was releasing a virus to cut down the population, which obviously hits a little too close to home. Yeah. So they cut out most of their scenes. Now,
really?
Dido, what did you think of the Flag Smashers as an antagonist overall in this series?
I mean, if you think about it, it going back to, because I didn't even think about that. They did seem a little weak. Most of the confrontation that I felt like I was getting from was really from the Captain America, new Captain America, John Walker. Like, it seemed like, you know, how he did not want Sam, that is, new Captain America, the responsibility and the struggle that he was going through with making that decision, and then Bucky coming down on him with making that decision, and then John Walker showing up and not being like Captain America, but he's having his mantle. That felt like that was the primary confrontation to me. So it did seem like the Flag Smashers was a little weak. That whole thing with the virus thing, I think, would have been super awesome. Unfortunately, it's too sensitive because we're going through a pandemic right now. It's like, you know what? Real life. What they say about that? Art imitates life, imitates art. And for what we know, even though the conspiracy theorists out there probably think that the fucking COVID is one of those things.
It's fake.
Yeah, and not just that it's fake. That some of them might think it's fake. Some of them might think that it was purposely released to, you know, cull the population, even though it's not even going to get close to doing anything. I mean, a lot of people are and have passed away from it, which is unfortunate. But to cull a population, you need billions to die. And right now we're in the millions, and we're probably never going to hit
come on.
billions in that aspect.
You know, the government has been behind AIDS. They've been behind behind SARS. They've been behind COVID. You know, everything that's out there.
My thing is this, though. I think the Flag Smashers fit right where they needed to fit, because it's like, okay, if you go Avengers level threat, okay, damn it, where's the Avengers at now?
Right.
You need something that fits in that one little widget there where it's like, okay, one of the Avengers can handle this, you know, type of thing. Because if you get to, like, you know, because again, if the Flag Smashers were, like you guys said, if the original plot was a big virus to cull part of the population, and they're all over the world globally. Okay, well, damn it. Well, Vision, you go take care of that. Well, Vision's not available.
Exactly.
So there's a whole bunch of people that aren't even available right now. So I mean, I like it being something more centralized because again, we even talking about that earlier watching Captain America: Winter Soldier, the film. It's like, well, why didn't they call some of the other guys in? It's like, nah, this story kind of works for Cap because it's dealing with a lot of stuff of his past and who do you Hydra's rearing its ugly head and who do you trust?
Okay, we got a visitor up in here.
It's gonna die.
It's gonna die. Oh, there it is. It's ready for you. It's ready for you. Prime target. Go get him, GQ.
Huge motherfucker.
Yeah, he is, man. Go get him, man. Go get him. He's right there.
That's a wasp and or a hornet that's
in
the studio right now, everybody.
Yep.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, he's a biggy.
That's big boy.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Oh,
The producer's back there freaking out.
that's going to be the entertainment today.
Whatever. We lost the camera operator.
Behind the TV. How the hell did he get in here?
I can't.
We just got our show taken over by a terrorist.
Oh, come on.
It'll be all right.
Come on, producer.
It'll
You
be all right.
gotta get back there.
He's on one
You
of
can't leave the
TVs
camera
right
on me
now.
just laughing at you. Come on now.
Yeah. We know where he's at. He'll be all right.
Anyway, so Amarak, I'm gonna talk to you. So, I'm sorry, you gotta follow up on
Dude,
that.
it's a freaking biological terrorist.
Yeah. So, does talk about the other semi-antagonist / anti-hero, John Walker, aka U.S. Agent.
And okay, so I like how much development they put into his story to show how he got there, but the beginning of the story didn't match how it happened too fast. Like once it came even to the conversation, they were just like, "Hey, we need a U.S. agent." He's like, "Yeah, I'm back, yay!" And that was his whole like scene, his redemption arc or whatnot, and that it wasn't enough for me. But I'm glad that we have this character now. It means we can do a lot more in the future with even just like the villain side.
Hold on.
I imagine we're going to.
I don't necessarily find him on the villain side either. Go ahead.
Wait. So you're saying you didn't like that they let him basically kind of sort of come back in the fold that quickly? Is that what you're basically saying?
It's just not that they didn't let it happen so quickly. I'm glad that this just is boom and he's back because I loved his character from the start. I knew that he was going to have a dark arc to him. I just didn't know exactly how they were going to play everything out. But this was nice. What I'm saying was they gave you like 4 full episodes of like just all of his story that you can possibly get. It was almost an origin story of him, just about him for a lot of the episodes. It was kind of interesting they took that approach for it. But then like the last 2 episodes barely showed him, and then all of a sudden you got the thing back and he's like, yes, and that was it.
But no, see, I don't think.
But
the thing is, you got to remember this other lady. She's not a government agent in that regard. We don't know what her ties are. She could just be bringing him in as just, you're a U.S. agent. You might just be a dark assassin style
Dark
guy.
Avengers.
Right? Exactly. Dark Avengers.
Yeah, the Contessa you're talking about. Right?
Yeah, she even straight up said, we don't need a Captain America. We need a U.S. agent. We need somebody that can do the dirt. I think that's what.
But
that's what's gonna happen with him.
another thing I paid attention to is she seems to be so well practiced at this. Who else does she have?
Okay.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
Well, see, that's the plot thread that was supposed to be started by Black Widow.
Of course.
That was supposed to be the first movie that the Contessa ever showed up in. Now, if you don't know about the Contessa was the double agent / girlfriend of classic Nick Fury. In the classic Jim Steranko, Nick Fury agent.
Back
Shield.
when he was much lighter skinned.
Much lighter.
Than he is now.
Much lighter. Like you can almost say he was pale.
Could almost say that.
Yeah. So
could almost say he was a Hasselhoff looking type guy at one point.
Yeah.
in his career.
Yeah, but so the Contessa has been known to move behind the scenes similar to the way that Nick Fury did. So this is all lining up for a lot of things. Like she could go to the Raft, get Zemo out, and we can end up with a Thunderbolts type situation, which would be pretty sweet, honestly.
I do have a bone to pick about the Raft.
Okay.
That that was an opportunity, even if for a second, to pan by a couple of cells or something like Batman Arkham style.
Yeah, I would have liked that too, honestly.
I would like to
Why?
see who else was there.
Why?
But who would be
They
in
could
there?
have. They could have put anybody
It
in
doesn't
there.
matter.
A lot of people off
Anybody.
camera. You know
You're
what I
just
mean?
talking about doing like a fan service thing,
Yeah,
not people we've seen before.
No, not maybe even not people that we have seen before.
Yeah,
Nah.
like the
You
inside
don't like
of the
that?
Raft
Here, I'll
right
tell you
now,
why in a
in the
second.
way that the Marvel Universe is doing their shows, they honestly could have bled out a couple more shows just from a couple of glimpses because of how we speculate.
But
and set up
why?
rumors about stuff.
Here's my
Because there's a
question.
lot to unpack here. And
Here's
a
the
lot
thing.
of stuff is going to get glanced over in movies because they don't belong.
All right,
That's why we
Think back
have
to
the
the
shows.
last.
All right,
Think back to
hold
the
on.
last time that happened. Do you remember the last time they did something like that? It wasn't Marvel proper, but it was done.
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. Where did that go?
I mean, nowhere. It didn't go nowhere
So-
because the movie was bad.
So the thing is, when you're already
Yeah,
playing
bad
when you're already
movie,
playing
though.
chess on the highest possible level, why are you gonna make a silly mistake like that just in case something doesn't pan out? There's no point. You're
I mean,
already
that
at the
would be a
top. You
silly
don't
mistake, though.
You're already at the top. You don't have to do silly things like that to get buzz. Everybody already buzzes off of everything you do anyway.
Oh, you mean like Zack Snyder and his endless reveals, revisions, and
Again,
whatever
I don't.
for the Snyder Cut?
I'm not faulting Zack Snyder for what he did because his film finally got made. But what I'm saying is, Disney Marvel does not need to do any extraneous teases like that because it's like, okay, what if this particular actor isn't going to be in that role?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So now, like, let's just take Ed Norton as an example. Let's say Ed Norton, who obviously played the Hulk at one point. Let's say he was teased as one of the upcoming whatever, and then he does an Ed Nortonism and then gets out of his contract. Well, great. Now we're not getting Ed Norton to be this character. You don't need to do teases because you're already driving the bus.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to Disney World.
All right. So the other aspect of the show we can talk about is Sam kind of finally embracing the role of Captain America as, you know, his journey as he went on it. I very much enjoyed his journey. Yes, we saw a little bit of the character development over the course of three movies. You could say start with Captain America and the Winter Soldier, Civil War. You could see some of his growth probably in Infinity War, maybe
For who?
for Sam.
This is the most growth of Sam we've ever got.
Granted, but I guess what I'm saying is like we've seen him grow a little bit in the Falcon role. He kind of seemed to own that. He was comfortable with it, and it always seemed like, you know, at the starting of this, he felt the overwhelming weight of trying to step into Cap's shoes, and he just felt like, for numerous valid reasons, that he should not be Captain America. Number one, he felt like the country wouldn't accept him because, you know, he's black, he's not a super soldier, and he's always just been the Falcon, you know, the sidekick. So he wasn't ready to step into that spotlight. He did what, like you said, he felt was right. He gave the shield back to the government and said, here, you know, put it in a museum. And they turned right around and said, "Hey, we're gonna have a new Captain America. 'Cause we need a symbol."
But okay, and the thing is, you have to look at it in this light. This is the first time we've seen a hero outside of Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is a hero known to deal with regular problems of an everyday person.
Yeah,
But this is the first time we've seen a older Avenger level hero that deals with the regular everyday down and drag him out stuff that normal people deal with. And on top of that, every other godlike, with big quotes, character that was around him is not there anymore. Cap is done. He's old. Iron Man died. Thor is off world. Like, all of these huge major like players that were there are off the grid right now, and it's just like, okay, you got this regular guy who has no super soldier serum, no nothing, can't get a loan at the bank, like all of this, you know, all the regular
his family
you know,
business is failing,
exactly.
all that. Yeah,
All the Spider-Man type stuff is hitting him at the same time of, are you going to be the next Captain America? Because he gave you the shield. You know what I'm saying? So it's a ton of stuff that basically came down on the shoulders, and like you said, he was not ready to bear that weight. So I thought that was actually really cool how they did that. Preem also mentioned something a little bit back about how it seemed like they did drop that virus thing because that in the second episode they were stealing vaccines and whatnot. So
yeah. So another thing to wrap this up, Marvel Studios now has 2 shows in the books. Wolverine Solid X, I think, put it out there. He said, which one was better? Which one did you like better? WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Everybody's take around the table.
They're weirdly at like kind of a same level of because the way that they're telling the stories and leading into the movies or whatever they're doing next, it's all just at this point it's just kind of all Avengers. You know what I'm saying? It just feels like whatever's happening next, they're just rebuilt and to do it again, kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it even though it didn't look the same, it all felt like it's all the same thing kind of deal. So I liked them both a lot. I can't say that I liked one more than the other. They were different enough to have that.
And that's fine. That is just fine. Fine. Fallen Marvel, a guy that we can't wait to get back on the show with us, says Falcon and Winter Soldier for him easily. Okay. GQ, what about you?
I'm on the same thing with Amarak. I like them both equally for different reasons. I liked the sitcom-y take that they did with WandaVision. It worked because it was, it's like, look, this is somebody's mental healing and mental trip. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I like the stuff that they introduced, the other possibilities. Is she a mutant? Is she not? All that stuff. So that was fun. And then Falcon and Winter Soldier was a really good follow-up story and a way to develop two characters that you've always liked in one form or another from the films, but they've never had the spotlight because it's never been their job to be in the spotlight, with the exception of Bucky, who obviously was an antagonist at one point. But this is the first time we've ever, like I said earlier, we've never had time to see them interact with each other because they're either always fighting against each other or fighting with each other. Some conflict. There's never any downtime.
Dido?
That's a big toughie for me because they're two totally different types of shows completely. One, like you said, it had the sitcom-y feel, but it also had like the her going through sort of mental issues. It wasn't really an action show. And Falcon and Winter Soldier, as Takeem says, Foz, or was it
That's Fallen Marvel.
Fallen Marvel said Foz.
Yeah.
It was a complete action show. The show was an action show. Seriously. So it's kind of hard for me to say which one is better because I don't look at it that way. I like them both.
That's fine.
And it's just like, it's like playing Mario RPG and then playing Super Mario Brothers. They both, star Mario in the same, even though I'm not saying they both star the same person. I'm saying they're two separate type of things. You're not going to say, hey, what's better, is Mario 64 or Mario RPG? Because they're not. You can't compare them.
Yeah, I got you.
So for me, it's I'm not fence sitting here. I can clearly say that I really enjoyed them both, but I felt a lot more with WandaVision. I enjoyed WandaVision a lot more just because at the end of every show, you were just like, oh, my God, let's talk about this. Oh, my God, let's talk about this. While you kind of felt that way in some aspects with Falcon and Winter Soldier, I was just left very satisfied with the end. I didn't necessarily feel like I needed to talk about it obsessively like I did with WandaVision, if that makes sense to y'all.
No, that's fair. Because WandaVision gave you a whole bunch of stuff to speculate over.
Yes.
Falcon and Winter Soldier was a little bit more straightforward. I mean, it's like there were, who was the power broker and all that sort of stuff came up.
Right.
But yeah, Falcon and Winter Soldier was much more straightforward than WandaVision. It was a bunch of interpretation and whatnot.
Indeed.
I do have one question though.
Okay, make it quick and let's move on.
Okay, have they said anything about like Bucky's next move? Like, does he get his own movie or what's?
No, he'll be in Captain America 4 with Sam.
That was gonna be my whole thing. What's the next move? Period. Because like, not just for Bucky, but for the whole thing. Because as of right now, there are no Avengers in the comic books. From my understanding, there's many teams. We get West Coast, Dark Avengers, blah blah blah. Is this a setup to starting a new team?
I do. I believe so.
That's
yes.
it has to.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. Q Bay 3000, how you doing?
What's up? What's up, Q? Welcome back to the show. No, so after Falcon and Winter Soldier ended, like mere hours after it ended, they announced Captain America 4. A lot of people had assumed that he was just going to get another series. No, movie, which is awesome.
Yep. Hey, we hope you enjoyed that clip. Make sure you check out our live content on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/culturejunkies. We also have a lot of content available on YouTube, unboxings as well as Blu-ray reviews. And you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/culturejunkies. And on top of all of that, if you go to culturejunkies.net, you can check out our merch store. The link is culturejunkies.net/merch. There's a lot of great merchandise there. So there's links and logos and stuff all around me. So check those out, and we will see you next time.